everybody, Jacob Cole here. I'm going to do a standing lesson today. I have these stands here. It's a new thing for me to stand and play. It's kind of a whole different thing, really. So we'll see what happens. I don't really have much planned today. Maybe a couple things. So if anybody wants to chime in with any ideas, but I'll start off with some improv on this new halo I have here, this Aegean. If anybody has a halo, it's a lot different, mainly because of the innie here instead of the outie. So it takes some getting used to, but I'm starting to get used to it. If you have a halo, I figured out that if you hit there's a little tiny miniature ding, I guess, in the center of it, you get a nice kind of thick bass tone from hitting that. Otherwise, when you hit it on the tone field, it's not quite as thick, same as on any other. Something about the dings kind of beef it up a little bit. So halos are pretty sweet. I've wanted a halo since 2009 when I first joined the list, and finally got one. But it takes a little getting used to if you're used to the outies, that's for sure. So I've been kind of figuring out some things. Here's a little something. Let's see. Basically count to 7 and then repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And make sure your 1 is going to be your changing kind of root note, the low note, and that's kind of how you're changing kind of the bass note with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you're coming back to 1 on that and changing it to another note that you figure out that works on 1. Then you can kind of do anything. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of, so you don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you could just count to 1, 3, and the 5 of it. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. You can also say that as top din day, 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 top din day. Top, din, day, top, din. Okay, so it's a little bit conical in there, because really you could also say takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi tak. So the abbreviation of that is ta din day, ta din day, which is 1 3 5. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Ta din day, 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 ta din. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Ta din day, 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 ta din day. So that's a good way to do 7, 8 time signature. If you want to do 5, 8, you would say, we could count 5, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the abbreviation would be 1, let's see, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, because that works out as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're just doing those accents. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the conical abbreviation would be ta day, ta date, ta date, ta date, ta date, ta day, 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 ta day. So then you kind of get between 3 and 5. You could hear it as 3 accents would be for the 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cha cha. 1, 2, 3. Cha cha. 1. But really, that is 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's something I took from Frank Zappa. If anybody's a Zappa fan, give me a thumbs up. You know, he does a lot of those rhythms like that. So what would that be? How many accents do you hear? Anybody? We got some people in here. Hello. Hello. That's 7 when you hear those 3 accents like that. So, yeah, odd meters are cool. And if you wanted to do something in 9, you would do 4 accents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you know, there's many different ways to get to these. You know, for 7, you could do 3 plus 4, and so on. But this is just my way, you know, so I don't want to see any angry faces. Everybody has their own way of doing things, right? So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's always those 2/16ths after the last accent to bring you back to 1. So you can kind of do that with many different things. And it keeps going. So, you know, how I look at it is the 4 accents, you take the 4, and that would be your 9, because I would times 4, whatever it is, you times it by 2 plus 1. So that's why for the 3 accents, you times 3 times 2, that's 6 plus 1, so really you're doing 7. For the 2 accents, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that's kind of a little way to think about it. So let's see, here's some other things I was kind of figuring out. It's cool to kind of, if you have multiple pans, to, you know, figure out just what sounds good together. You know, I'm just a drummer, so I don't really know what I'm doing harmonically, melodically, but I do know what sounds good and what sounds bad, right? So if you have a musical ear, you can kind of sit there and figure things out on handpans. That's the magical thing about them. You don't really have to know what you're doing harmonically. You can play by ear, and that's kind of how my approach is to these instruments, and always has been. So here's something I figured out that was cool the other day. Let's see. Anybody know what time signature we're in? Top din day, 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 top din day. Double time. So anybody know what time signature that was in? Hello. Yes, it was in 7. If you said 7, you are correct. Pat yourself on the back. If you said 5, that's okay. You were close. So, yeah, 7's kind of my favorite go-to odd meter, I think. I'm kind of at the point where I could just feel it and I don't have to think about it. 5 is a little trickier because it happens so quickly. I kind of have to count that one a little bit more. But 7, I can kind of just go into it. is my secret weapon. Paradiddle diddle. Does anybody know what a paradiddle diddle is? Right, left, 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 right, left. So it's a paradiddle, which is right, left, left, plus a paradiddle diddle, which is right, left, left. And that equals 7 if you're counting every other note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? And I'm splitting that up between my fingers. Top din day, 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 top din day. So, you know, obviously that's very fast, but that's what's happening. Top din day, 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 top din day. And I'm not going to break that down right now because it's kind of difficult, but you can, I have a paradiddle lesson where you can kind of figure that out. And also I teach private lessons. All right, so that's paradiddle diddle playing 7. So now back to the thing I was just doing. Someone mentioned doing some melodies. So, you know, melodies for me just happen by accident from doing things like, oh, that sounds cool. And then, you know, you try and repeat it, or maybe, you know, it's slightly different. But, you know, as long as you have the basic idea. So let's see if I can figure something out. This is not going to be in 7 anymore. That's a real simple melody, just using 3 notes, but changing the bass line. So then I added a couple notes as a fill, right? But the basic melody is just... basic melody is just right, pretty simple. It's the bass notes that really add the magic to it. Let's try and spice it up a little. Added 1 note to the melody. Okay, so now let's take it up another notch. you know, you want to start off as simple as you can, I think, when you're doing anything, really. And then add to it, like Legos, you know? One thing on top of the other until finally you're doing, you know, something that you don't really have to think about because you know what notes are all going to work together. And that's when the magic can start. And then you can double time it. Now I'm in 7. So you get the point. So, yeah, melodies, you know, can be advanced, they can be fast, they can be slow, they can be many different things, but most of all, you want them to sound good, right? Hello, everybody. I see a heart. You guys like what's happening so far? Anybody want me to talk about something else? Odd meters are a good thing to get a good wrap on. Let's see. Sometimes spinning the old pan can give you many new ideas. So let's see what happens now. Better resolve it, huh? So it's good to, you know, if you have multiple pans, to find a couple bass notes that can work as a nice progression, and then that can kind of help you with the song you're writing, and find out what high notes are going to work for melody. Usually melody is going to be the higher end of your pan, right? And this motion that I'm doing right here is very important. This is something that I do a lot. I call it the butterfly. It lets you get 4 notes in an instant. Thumb out, middle in, middle in. So you end up doing this kind of thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just from turning your wrist. Them or do them open. Different kind of rhythms. But that's something I do a lot. You could do it up here and up here. Same thing. let's try and add a backbeat to it. Slow. And what I'm doing is actually in my YouTube lesson number 4. It's the last groove I teach, which is this. It's kind of a variation of that. So I'm not going to break that down now, but you can check out YouTube lesson number 4. Not live lesson number 4, but my YouTube lesson number 4. And it's the second rhythm. It's a linear groove. Linear meaning nothing's hitting at the same time. Right? So. Kind of do a fill at the end to bring you back. Add some more melody to it. So, yeah, you know, once you get real comfortable with, I think the first thing you need to establish is if you're going to do a groove like that, you need to establish your bass line. You need to figure out, you know, so my bass line is basically, you know, those 3 notes there. And you could do that in different orders. You know, if I could start with this one. And then go backwards. Go to a different note. So you figure out on what pan you have and what pans you have what's going to sound good. What are you guys writing? I love that. You slow it down. Oh, good. Hi, Jacob. Today I can see you live. Yeah, you know, I think I teach all my students slow and steady wins the race. And, you know, all this stuff I'm doing that's real fast is only because it's muscle memory. And I've done it slow for very long periods of time. You know, like this slow. So once you learn something like that, then you could speed it up a little bit, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more. And so you keep stacking, you know, where you feel comfortable on top of each other until eventually you can go fast and you're not even thinking about it. the magic happens. Once you can turn off your brain and just be one with the universe, right? Just be one with this creative pool of musical energy that's flowing around, and everything you've ever learned, and you're not yourself anymore. You're just rhythm. You're just music. I think that's when the magic happens. So, you know, whenever I'm kind of in a concert or playing, I try not to even look out in the crowd too much, really, because that can distract me. I just try and be one with the moment, you know, and that I think that's an important thing, to not get distracted by other things in your life, you know. So, yeah, it's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Does anybody have any questions before I wrap this one up? I know this is kind of a shorter one. Anybody? Hello. Anybody have any questions here? I hope that I don't see any questions. So, the purple one, what kind of pan is it? This is my new Halo Aegean with the innie. They're big. And to be honest with you, when I first got it, I didn't really connect with the scale. So I think that's another important thing to talk about, is, you know, giving your instruments, giving them and yourself time to connect with them. Because at first I was ready. I called Kyle up and I was like, I want to swap it. I'm not connecting with it, and he was gonna, you know, make me another scale. But all of a sudden, I just started playing around with it. I think adding this D solid din really helped me kind of figure some things out, and now I think I'm gonna keep it. I really love it now. And you can play Stranger Things. Pretty sweet scale, the Aegean. Yeah, it's a Halo. It's a new era Halo. Oh, we're falling. Uh-oh. How embarrassing. And then this other one is my second handpan I ever had. This is my Asachan Saladin. Nice and spicy. Nice little go-to groove on this one. So, yeah, you know, it's nice to have these kind of different go-to grooves. Like, I could do that one on this one, but it's not going to sound the same. So it's kind of interesting, these go-to grooves that we can come up with depending on the scale. Yeah. They're both beautiful pans, definitely. totally different kind of sounding scales. But it's neat what I've figured out when you combine them. You really get these interesting things. Again, what I'm doing there is a paradiddle diddle split up between my hands, right? Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So, yeah, if anybody wants to get more in depth with this stuff, write me a message and we could do private Skype lessons. I've taught that to a couple people and it takes a little bit of time, but it can be done. So that's a cool way to do 7 at a double time tempo, but split up between your hands. So if nobody has any other questions, I think that's it for today. Could you show the fast parts a little slower? Well, okay. Let's see. So it's kind of difficult, to really show, but I'm doing the paradiddle diddle split between my hands. Bass is always on the 1. Okay, so you really have to get the paradiddle diddle ingrained in your hands without splitting them apart, and then you can split them apart once it's super ingrained, so you have to get this down first. Alright? Right, left, right, left, left. That's the full paradiddle, and then a paradiddle diddle on top of that is right, left, left. And when you put those two together, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, 1. 1. 1, 2. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right. And that's the 1 where you would repeat it. Hello. And then you split it between your fingers, and that's kind of the difficult part. And if you watch my paradiddle lesson on YouTube, that can explain at least how you do the paradiddle split. Right? Here's the paradiddle. So when you do that, you're just in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you add the paradiddle plus the paradiddle diddle, it makes it in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So we're counting one number per 2 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dot, din, day. Dot, din, day. Dot, din, day. Okay? Thanks everybody for joining me today. That's pretty much all I had in mind today. So if nobody has it, sorry. If nobody has any other questions, hope everybody enjoyed this live lesson. Thanks for joining me in this group. The numbers have been growing fast. I'm happy to have everybody here. Yeah. So thanks guys. You're welcome. Yeah, so if anybody wants to get more in depth with this stuff, I offer live, private Skype lessons. There's Andre right there. He actually knows the paradiddle diddle because I taught it to him in a private lesson, and he's doing really good with it now. So yeah, thanks for joining everybody. Till next time. You're welcome. Bye-bye.